the front lines of heating, cooling, and business, this is the Beer Can Cold Podcast, where the suction line is always beer can cold. Hosted by J.G. Van Gran and Will Merritt. Crack one open, turn it up, Bigfoot approved. Take it away, boys.
Sun ain't up, we already sweat. Boots on the mat, job all set. Crawling in the crawl space, bread running hot. Filter dust thick, gotta clear that cloud. It's that beer can cold, turn it till it bites. Sweat on the floor, pressure in the lines tonight. Yeah, beer can cold, grind it till it holds. From the attic to the rooftop, we run it beer can cold, yeah. Rooftop hum, metal skin burns, 10-ton unit, fan
How about that?
Strong like Donkey Kong.
Strong like battery acid on a
Yep.
summer's day.
Yep.
We did some things. It is 2026 and we are awesome. Did I mention that?
Yep. I like it. I like the lyrics.
It's awesome. And so, I'll put the whole song at the end of the podcast. That way we make sure people listen all the way through so they can hear it. But just absolutely so cool that we can have our own intro now and so many cool things we're working on, Will. But dude, it's the 20th. It's not the first time we recorded. We're redoing a lot of stuff on the podcast and the software has been a disaster. So we finally got it figured out. But some big news, all the stuff, right? So we got new music. I believe soon we're going to have a new website.
Yeah, I actually sent you some links today. I just sent it to both your emails, so take a look at it.
I will. Absolutely. Super stoked about that. And then we picked up a sponsor. And I think we are going to record with him next week. We are going to bring him on one show a month. Marty from Praxis. Pretty stoked about that. I think that's going to be very good. And it's, it kind of goes in the vein of what we're trying to do with this podcast, where it's about helping the contractor, giving him things that we find is very helpful. Maybe it's advice, maybe it's something like this. I'm pretty excited about the Praxis thing. You sat through a demo, right?
It's been a while. Need to do it again. I want to see it again because I connected him with one of our clients. I thought it would be a good fit, and they liked it. So I need to follow back. Marty thanked me, emailed me back, but it'd be a good refresher for us to see it too.
Yeah, no, I think, and it's going to be good. And basically, I think we'll do a better intro next week when we get them on. But it's really a software to help people sell in home and everything that's the matrix around that. And actually, I introduced Marty to friends of ours over at a dispatching software, CRM software, and so they're actually talking. So I think some really good stuff is going to happen in 2026.
Cool.
But from our standpoint, we're going to try to do maybe a little shorter episodes. We're going to try to do them at least once a week, unless we get really busy, which we do. And we're going to try to be more topic specific, I think. We're doing some research through the analytics, especially through TikTok, and we're seeing the what do you call it? The things that's popping, the thing people are really commenting on, and I think we want to focus a little bit more in on that.
Is getting the most engagement,
Yes.
Try to focus on that and try to be relevant and pertinent. And I think we're kind of talking about the new stuff, the new fancy shiny ball stuff right now. But I think the big thing that's going on that I'm hearing, and we just were discussing it before we got on live here, is it's slow.
Yes.
After Christmas, and so I'll throw my first Jeff Burrishism in on the podcast here. People get amnesia. And I think that's true. It's it is what it is. But we've had an up and down weather month in the southeast. It's gotten cold, and I was just out a little bit ago driving with my son, and it's cold. But we were 74 degrees a week and a half ago. So
Yeah.
we're getting some cold weather. But I'm hearing. I'll talk to customers. I'll talk to territory managers. Spoke to one this morning. And he said, yeah, most of my contractors are telling me the phone's just not ringing. But I think, again, we got to remember it's January.
Yeah.
And I think we still might be struggling. Sorry, I got one more thing. So I think we still might be having some of the post-COVID blues or hangover here. But a lot of systems probably shouldn't have been replaced 3-4 years ago and got replaced. Just kind of pushed it, up a little bit. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to mention, tax credits, is that going to be an issue? I would like to do a show around it. I don't know if it's going to be an issue or not. I would like to do a show around mindset about tax credits, and I don't think it should be an issue. I think we talk in this industry a lot about tax credits, and then we don't realize they have an impact, but they don't always have an impact.
I mean, I remember had both systems replaced 2022 and 2024, and it's a lot of money. Duct systems, everything. I had to do it because I had crap, flex and ductboard and all kinds of crap. But they posed the tax credit thing for me on my upstairs system to go to like a dual fuel to get tax and get some money, rebates and stuff. And it just didn't make any sense to do it. It would have ended up, I can't remember. I might have saved a teeny bit, but I wasn't going to go dual fuel. I'm just going to go straight AC and gas. That's what I like. I'm not, me personally, not a huge heat pump fan, just because the outdoor unit's running all year round.
Yeah.
More wear and tear versus condenser. My condensers are sitting dormant.
Right. Dormant. Hibernating.
But here's another one I want to throw out there, and I think this is interesting. And I can't remember who was talking about it. I saw it recently, but have we hit a ceiling of where the consumer cannot afford heat and air conditioning? I mean, it's like, holy smokes.
Yes. You
like
know,
20 grand. And I know that we get in some other markets, probably California and stuff, they're 30 plus for a system. So I mean, we're talking, I was talking real world stuff to a friend of mine today. And I said, hey, I grew up in a pretty rural area, not a ton of, income's lower. And I'm just thinking about, someone it's hit with, it's right after Christmas and their system needs to be replaced. And it's like, it's probably going to be where maybe it's 16 grand or something for a system, say here in Charlotte in a metro market. In a more rural market, maybe it's 11, maybe it's 10.
Right.
That's a lot of money, but we're getting up around these systems, 20 grand. I think we're getting to a breaking point.
Well, the other piece is, right, so you start mentioning that and you start talking about it, and then the first thing that jumps on you is, this industry is full of the business coaches and and there's good ones, but there's some really horrible ones. And, your mindset, it's a loser's mindset. I get it. And yes, it should be a mindset thing. However, sell on payments. Okay.
Yeah.
But are we at the point where, is the economy at a point where like, okay, $300 extra a month really means something? That's dinner maybe for the whole month. I don't know. But yes. And the thing is, I've been saying this since I've started in this industry. I've never, ever heard of a manufacturer giving a discount or a rate reduction. It goes up every year. It goes up every year.
I just, like I said, talking to this one guy today. He works for one of the manufacturers, and we were talking about, because I was a territory manager just like you were for a lot of time. And I kind of told him, I said, you'd slide that price sheet over and they try to push it back to you. And once a year, and we were lucky to get 2%, 3%, 4% maybe. Yeah. And now, I saw one of the manufacturers send an email out, and they're going up to 7 February 2nd.
So what we hear from everybody, average 7.
It's commonplace. And so, we're hoping, like the guy said today, I'm hoping we're only going to have 2 this year versus 4.
Well, you just softball segued me right into something that I think we also want to bring to the show this year, right? So if you have these situations of like, how do I get customers to afford me? And then how do I make money, right? So it all focuses on your processes.
Yeah.
How does the process work? Is it good? Is it whatever it needs to be? So I decided January 1st, there's a couple of things I want to do. I made a couple of personal goals this year. And one of the things is I am going to try to get my Six Sigma certification. I'm going to try to become a black belt at some point in this year. And our industry, I don't know. And this is what I don't know. I don't hear a lot of contractors talk about it. So I don't know if it's, if a lot of guys are doing it or have done it. It's an easy thing. Yes, you can go through the college process and go 2 years and get your Six Sigma black belt, Master Black, whatever, or there's online courses. And so I've enrolled in an online school, and I'm going to go through this process. And I'll tell you, I've just gotten the first 2 certifications. I guess they do belts kind of like you do karate or something, right? Yeah. So the white belt is just like, oh, I can tie my shoe and I understand what it is. The yellow belt's getting a little bit more into it. And so I'm almost done with that certification. And I'm telling you already, one thing that we already did is we're really trying to focus on our same day fix rate. This is allowing me to understand processes and formulas and how to go get the data and how to calculate what our actual percentage of efficiency is in that piece, right? And so the reason I'm bringing it up is I would like to, as we go through the process, talk about it on the show because, okay, so now I feel like the systems are becoming too expensive for my customer. If I really want to cut $2,000 out of it, how can I do that? I'm already buying pretty good. I'm already, paying my guys what I think they deserve. I'm already doing so. These Six Sigma allows you to look at the entire process and find what they call the defaults or the waste, right? And so there's 2 forms of Six Sigma. So there's regular Six Sigma. But there's lean Six Sigma, which is a little bit of a diversion of it. And so I jumped into the lean part of it because I want to understand processes or how to measure and get processes better. And I think that's some value we can bring this year to our customers or to our listeners, because I think there's a lot of value in getting your machine to run as efficiently as it possibly can. Because at that point, you've done everything you can. And if your average ticket needs to be $15,000 a system, then that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
So I really hope we can bring that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, but, is it going to, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to think, I know that's an internal thing to try to help you guys, but, does the consumer care about that?
No, they don't. Probably but it's not. All about, it's all about how to get the best product out of the door, but then duplicate it perfectly every time.
Yeah.
And things are going to happen. Things are going to get screwed up, but it's like at least having the process in place to, we had a customer or a guy on here a while back that talked about how many new construction homes he does, right? It's a repeatable thing every time. And the more you can do that, especially in change out market, the better. And then you get curveballs thrown at you, whatever. But I'll share when I find really good things through this process. I'll share it with you guys. But it's already shine a light on some of our service issues that we're already addressing. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the average consumer, all right, it's broken. I need somebody to come fix it.
Yeah.
Or replace it. They don't know sometimes, and we got to do it. Do as an industry our best job of communicating, trust and value to these people. They trust you quickly. I was watching a podcast today or a webinar, I should say, and they were talking about, the difference between, what contractors think the consumer wants and what the consumer really wants.
Right.
And I don't know. It's, again, I think it's coming to a breaking point to where they're going to go cheap just because they need that. There's like I can't afford an $18,000 system for my house.
Well, when you're going to know this is happening is when you're putting in coils into 12-year-old units, compressors into 15-year-old units. You're going to quickly understand this is why this is happening.
Yeah.
And I know we've had great things like special financing for customers and stuff, but even financing, man, even that you're getting to a point. It's like, okay,
hard.
how are we doing this? I get it.
Yeah.
So very quickly, we're going to have Marty on at some point. There's some travel coming up.
We need to discuss that.
Yep.
I'm going to the Myrtle Beach SCALT convention, South Carolina Association of Licensed Trades, next Thursday, and I believe we're just going to stay one night. I think we're going to cancel Friday night and just come back after the trade show. But then, so we got an opportunity there if you want to come down, and then we're
thinking
going
about it.
Yeah, we're going to Phoenix February 11th. So. I told you this. They've asked me to speak on. There's going to be a panel discussion there, and it's going to be me. I think he's the vice president of a distributor in the Midwest, one of the owners of the outfit, and there's a fourth person. I don't think they've determined that yet, but it's going to be like a live Q&A type of thing. And then they have can't think of the name of the company, but it has a company that has a podcast, and they're going to have it set up and give you 15-minute slots. So,
okay.
Yeah, a remote thing, but we need to choose a couple of those. I sent it to you. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we'll go through that. I think that I'm going to drive down to South Carolina to hook up with you. Is the trade show on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm going to leave here Friday morning. Come on down. Depending on, maybe I hook my podcast trailer up and come down, the night before and just stay in it. But I think it's pretty cold right now. I might not do that.
Well, who knows? I mean, we're looking at snow. We had this snow, and,
so
a couple inches here, and then up on the above north of you, showing like 2 feet.
Yeah, I know.
Wrong. The app's got it wrong, and then all of a sudden it went from 18 to 22 inches in Madison, North Carolina, Eden, North Carolina, near where I grew up, to I think 1.75 inches.
Wow,
something was messed up.
Yes. So, but I think that I'm definitely coming to South Carolina. I think we need to do that one in see what we can do. We need to find a good guest maybe that we can do. I know the guy we had lined up might not make it, but I think there's different things we can do there.
Cast of characters down there. I'm sure Ruth King's going to be in there. I might could twist her arm. Yeah. That's the only time I've ever met her. She did some, I think, a training session for us one time, maybe at Virginia Air years ago. Okay. Yeah, but she was there several years, probably 4 years ago. And I got her book actually for my wife, and she autographed it for and signed it. But
that's awesome.
So I don't know.
Maybe.
Can you ask? But I'm excited about the new theme music. I'm a music guy. I play guitar. I love music, and just to hear, I sent the link on our company chat last night, and a couple people were like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And Jess, she's our senior graphic designer. She's like, "Oh, I was rocking it out at the gym last night."
It's awesome.
Pretty cool. Forward and upward.
There's a plan to maybe put a CD together and then distribute that. Maybe we do that in T-shirts next. I see. Well, that's what all the podcasters do. So we have not forgotten about our friend Bigfoot. He's just on vacation at the moment.
Yeah, he's taking a hiatus. He's scared
a little bit. Actually, there's a small one right there.
Yeah, I found my sign. It's out on our screened-in porch. I got a sign for Christmas.
I did too. There's a theme. I think our families talked about it.
I need to update. I'd like to rearrange my posters. I got all my widespread panic posters here. So
yeah.
That's awesome. Need to rearrange and stuff. And then also, here's the other good one. I got my squirrel gun here.
There you go.
High-powered 22 pellet gun.
Nice.
We have a squirrel. We live back in the woods. We have a squirrel issue here, and so I hate to do it, but sometimes you got to take care of business.
Well, we went and did firearm retail therapy with my middle son the other day, and he purchased his first gun. So he's gotten into skeet shooting, and I enjoy it too, but he's just much better.
That's funny. We got talking about that. I used to do it pretty regularly. I've got 3-4 shotguns, and just the place we used to go to, as long as you knew a member, it was $5. You brought your own shells, and they had a trap range, they had a skeet range, and they had a 5-stand.
Yeah.
So that was just, how about cheap fun? We'd go down and do it, but now do it. It's 10 minutes from my house, the Charlotte Gun and Rifle Club. You have to be a member, and it's not just being a member, you have to work there.
Oh, wow.
Hours to work there. So anyway, we used to do it, but it's funny. We got talking about it. I ran into one of my good friends' father-in-law, and he actually sold me one of my shotguns. And he's like, he's retired now. And I was talking to him my friend's dad's retirement 80th party and surprise birthday. He's like, yeah, he goes, I literally shoot every day of the week.
Wow.
I got different guys I go hang out with. We go to this place here and this one. And I'm like, damn. Yeah.
No, so he went and bought his first shotgun. He bought a beautiful gun. I mean, it's an absolutely over under 12 gauge, but just the millwork on it, everything's just beautiful. So, but here it's not cheap. There is, and I'm not going to put them on blast because I love the going there and everything else. But it's a farm that they set up like a golf course. You have a golf cart and you drive down there.
Better than.
And actually, well, I think you may have been at this one because we did a Virginia Air event there years ago, but not cheap.
Over the years, we used to do this fall flurry every year, and it was not too far from my house, about 45 minutes down in South Carolina, and it was a Coca-Cola exec that had this huge piece of land.
Oh yeah,
it was 18 holes, and then they had a big flurry stand, and I used to go with one of our customers and friend him. I took a bunch of different people over the years, but you just talk about fun. You get down there,
it's a great time.
You shoot and then you have lunch, and it's just a fun time.
Yeah, so I took him and my daughter, and we went, and I also purchased a shotgun, but I did something a little bit more home defense like, so they wouldn't allow me to take it around, which I wouldn't have hit the broadside of a barn in any way because it's short, so it's meant for in-house. But yeah, but we had a great time, and so it was that's something we definitely need to do more of. So other update I have that we are now on many podcast platforms. All right. So before we did Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and we did it on different channels on there, and that's how we got the video out. But we really started identifying the fact that a lot of our people like to listen to podcasts. So we're now on Apple Podcast. We're still on YouTube. We are now on Podbean, which is an app. We're on Spotify. We're also on the Jungle website, Amazon. We're on iHeart. We're on Player FM.
Wow, fancy.
We're on Listen Notes. We're on Podchaser, and we're on Boomplay. So our goal would be for this year, I think, to get to 1,000 subscribers. If we could, 1,000 listeners. And I know we say that a lot more people listen to us than we realize, but we really ask that hit the button, just hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We promise we're not going to throw too much at you. This is not going to become a salesy podcast where we run sponsors all the time. We love Marty. We think Marty has something good, and we're going to, feature Marty. We'll talk about him and just quickly mention him once a week, but then once a month he's going to come in and do something for us that's not going to be salesy. We're going to try to help people through this podcast. So I'm excited about that.
It's trying to break, help the industry. We're all, such a family, tight knit, group. Our whole industry. That's why I love the HVAC industry so much. So yes.
Well, a distributor, TM from a distributor today scratched his head because I told him that there will be another contractor in our office on Thursday when he's going to be there. And he said, well, doesn't he compete with you in your market? I'm like, dude, there's no competitors. Like the one guy in the truck that does the customer wrong, that's my competitor. Everybody else there's plenty of work for us all out here. So we have at Board Brothers, we have an open door policy. No, we're not going to show you our financials. That's kind of our business, but everything else, good practices, we live for that. So I created a roundtable. We'll be meeting next week, and I invited you to that. That's not something we're going to record and push out. That's just for a group of contractors that I know personally, and I think it's a good thing. So we're going to try to do that every 2 weeks, and I think we're going to get quite a bit of content from those meetings too to talk about here, because you find out what guys really are struggling with.
Yeah, and it's it's a lot of things, but it's always interesting to say what's really on, put your finger on the pulse, what they really want to know. And I just back to what we were discussing at the beginning is it's a little slow right now, and it's okay. Well, I've talked to a couple of customers, and they're like, "Yeah, it's slow. We're doing nothing but maintenance right now." But what do you do if you don't have maintenance?
Yeah.
It's
you
tough.
need PM agreements. There's a whole show there.
That's that tough thing of how do you grow that in a timely fashion to feed these slower times. And that's the question that we ask when we're working to talking to a potential new customer, is like, can you keep your team busy during the slow season?
Mm-hmm.
Your answer to that. And if the answer is no, I mean, we're going to help. It's still, we're not going to be able to make demand happen when there's not demand out there. That's unfortunate. Just when there's no weather and not consistent weather, it's tough. It's tough to get the phone to ring. So it's more outbound type of stuff at that time. A guy was asking me today about, have you bridged the gap of what can you do about like these? He lives in a big neighborhood. He's like 1,900 houses. He lives near me. And he's like, I said, well, I would, if I were a contractor, did a couple of jobs in there. It's like, can I come to the homeowners association meeting?
That's right.
Can I get endorsed on your community Facebook page, your Nextdoor page? Like Nextdoor, we tried that a few years ago for a couple of different clients of trying to do the paid option. Didn't see much from it.
Yeah.
But just being someone on there, your neighbors go like, hey, like we have a WhatsApp chat. We got like 10 of them at our group over our club over here. And everybody's always asking questions. Hey, I need a handyman. Hey, heating and air. Chime in.
Yes.
There. So those little guerrilla marketing type things, HVAC 101, we'd like to call it.
BNI. I wrote a lot of business out of BNI. And you need to understand what you're getting into. Okay. BNI is a commitment, but I did a lot of business out of BNI. And it was good for me. It was good business. It was average ticket business. We did, it wasn't discounting because people within BNI normally are value add people. So it was good. That's a very good one too. Yeah. And I think we can kind of tease the episode with Marty, because I think now that it's slow and everybody's talking about this, next week we probably need to talk about maintenance agreements as something he specializes in, and also talk about ways to help people when they're slow. Like you need to change your mindset. If you're not thinking about the value of having preventative maintenance agreements, dude, there's so many benefits to it.
Well, it's got to be the whole company embrace it. It's got to come down from the ownership all the way down to the maintenance tech, the CSR, the service tech, the installers. I mean, the bookkeepers, the dispatcher, everybody. And I remember visiting this one guy up in Lynchburg, Virginia, years ago, and he scoffed at all. Maintenance is a loss leader or a break even. He goes, maintenance is my number one most profitable department.
Yep. I think we visited the same guy.
Oh yeah.
And the other piece,
his daughter and her husband run the business now. We won't name names.
Yep. And his name was on the carpet when you walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there.
We flew up there, and just to let you know, if you ever want to fly into Lynchburg, there's usually like one flight, I think, or one or two, and there's not a restaurant there. There's not a bar there. There's nothing. There's a vending machine and a couple of couches and chairs. So I think that's it. And then there's like
that's right.
Roll-up door that they'll roll up about an hour before the flight, because
exactly right.
Jeff Wilson and me and then the contractor got there, and we're like, oh, we'll get there early. We'll have a little lunch, maybe have a beer or something. And
nope,
Packers and a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, you got to shoo the cows off the runway so the planes can go.
Anyway, but I just it's just maintenance. Everybody out there listening knows it's so well. Not everybody may, but it's so important.
Yeah.
And it is the lifeblood of the business. It's got to be, and you got to treat it so it's like the most valuable thing you're doing.
So
it is.
I tested this theory last year because I lived in the numbers in December. What I heard was for every 10 PMs you sell, you'll sell a change out, and it held true for us last year. Every 10 PMs we sold a change out.
Sure. Well, yeah, we've talked about we're trying to keep this thing short. We're at 30 minutes now, but it's either the farming, you can call it farming, you can call it dating, or the merry-go-round. it's a process, and you get them on, and they're at all different levels of this process. It's like
That's right.
they're, somebody, you just replaced the system, you got them on maintenance. Well, you just planted the crops. Now you got to fertilize. Now you got to water them, and it's not going to produce again major, like the harvest for quite some time. But
that's right.
Incremental things in there, IAQ and different things that can be done. But it's just all about, put your blinders on that customer, and where they're not thinking about anybody else for any of those needs to it.
That's right.
I tell you, here's a crazy one. I'll just interject this. One of our account reps called me and said, "Hey, such and such is telling me it's their anniversary, their 30th year, and they want to go on television, and they need a logo. Can you send us a high-res logo?" And she goes, "Wait a minute, you didn't call us. We handle, we help buying television, shooting television, everything involved with it." And so I think they're going to let us help with that. But it's just
that's good.
You got to put those blinders on it and remind the customer of everything you do.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And I'll tell you, we walked, and I'll save it for the next podcast, a little teaser. We walked the walk on maintenance agreements. We changed our maintenance agreements in December, and not easy. And I'll be open about all of that next podcast, but it was a process. I had to get buy-in from the owners and then from the technicians, and all of a sudden it took off, and I'll have the numbers of how many we've turned over already in December. But it is insane. It's actually, I didn't know it was broken until we fixed it, and now it's really good.
Yeah,
so,
I think keep it simple. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I think that might be a whole podcast on itself, is the value of maintenance agreements. And,
yes,
tell them that type of
absolutely. All right, well, this was a intro and a hello to 2026. I'm super excited. We demoed our music, and so it's already kind of playing now softly in the background, so I'll turn it up towards the end of the podcast. So we'll see you next week, buddy, and thank you so much for last year, and then I think this is going to be a great year, man.
We're having fun.
All right, pal. Be good.
All right, later.
Bye.
Red running high, filter dust thick, yeah, gotta clear that cloud. It's that beer can cold, turn it till it bites, sweat on the floor, pressure in the lines tonight, yeah, beer can cold, grind it till it holds, from the attic to the rooftop, we run it beer can cold, yeah. Rooftop hum, middle skin burns, 10-ton unit, fan won't turn, gauge marks jump.